Right back in your airwaves, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fuse Unbuttered, brought to you by Upfront and Personal. The gang is in the building.
Right.
Yeah.
Gabby.
My teacher here as always.
How you guys doing? It's finally good to be back. The old squad complete. We're lit like that little game.
Honestly, I missed Medici from the other time.
Oh, why you say you say? You didn't tell me off camera. Though.
I can tell you off camera as well.
Guys, it feels really good to be back. There's a whole lot we have to talk about.
Emmy, you just say you missed me. What's that?
So you have to force it in my from my mouth.
Say
I miss you.
It's better. We don't need 2 minutes. Let's go.
It feels good to be back, guys. There's a lot to talk about. Burna Boy is making the headlines today and yesterday and the day before that because apparently Burna Boy kind of linked up with, or DJ Khalid linked up with Burna Boy, and DJ Khalid has been all over the internet about Burna, love stars and talking about African giant and stuff, and we are definitely expecting the banger they're about to drop because we know that Burna no they disappoint.
His
name is not Amaka, it's Burna. And there's a whole lot to say from the controversies of the internet about the false reality of Tenny being disrespectful on a receiving of the award for member of the
Order of the Niger. National award.
If you guys want to find out more about this, you have to stick around after the short break. We'll give you the full tea. Don't move a muscle.
That's right.
I used to care for the world's opinion. I used to fear their rejection. I used to beg for validation. And I used to wait to be seen. But the fire that burned in me was hotter. And the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I'd fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
Amstel Malta, be your best.
Fuse Unbuttered.
Your Excellency, Eniola Akpata, Tenny.
If only you just believe, Close your eyes and come and see, Don't you worry about a thing, 'cause if you were gone, you can't get it if you were.
Eniola Akpata, Tenny.
To use the word false reality because I am not going to agree with the fact that people are trying to paint a narrative that Tenny the entertainer, Tenny Makanaki,
Why is it people?
Tenny, let me before you come for me. People are trying to create a narrative that Tenny was disrespectful while she was receiving that award. All right, if you now guys, this week. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria,
President Muhammad Buhari.
His Excellency General Muhammad Buhari, presented a couple of awards,
national awards
to a couple of people that have done remarkable things.
447 of
447 people, and amongst them was Tenny the entertainer,
Tubaba,
Burna Boy, but Burna Boy was not present in person.
We're not very sure about Tubaba as well, but we know that Burna Boy's father received the award on his
I mean, a couple of people like in royalty, also the Oni of Ife, the Olu of Wari, also Tony Elumelu received the award, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. A lot of people received that award, but one particular person that
everybody's talking about
was Tenny the entertainer, and this guy from Paystack, the CEO of Paystack,
the weird looking guy. I don't know why you should add that.
So what's his name? His name is Ezra, right?
Ezra, okay. He painted his nails and had like a choker.
Purple lipstick.
He left the president in awe.
Yeah, His Excellency was looking at him all the way till he walked.
I feel like he really controlled himself from laughing because that was funny.
But Tenny's own was, I mean, everybody's talking about Tenny's own because like she bounced to the place, picked up her award, no handshake, and she walked.
No back. Smile?
Well, she smiled for the camera.
Okay, for the camera, to take a picture, and then she walked.
And she got back to straight face and just bounced back. And people like Medici are of the opinion that Tenny should have done better.
disrespectful.
Wow.
Yes.
Do
A
you
lot of
think
people
so?
are coming out to say, oh, she's a Yoruba girl and all that. Even if you're not a Yoruba girl, every culture has that respect. And let's even leave
Warrants that she respects.
let's just leave a culture out of it. But
So
first
what
of
do
all,
you think
I
she
feel
should
like
have done
done
differently?
I feel like she should have walked. I mean, Tenny walks that way, which is fine.
Yeah.
So she walks there. She didn't smile to President Muhammadu Buhari. She smiled for the camera. After that, did you see? She didn't even look at his face when collecting the award. She just. Did you think close or
No, it was the president that actually
okay, it was the one who
Yeah.
said it. And she just walked out. I was like, what?
Oh, she's
what
supposed to
the-
kneel down. I say,
I
Your
just here for the
Highness.
award.
And lick his
No,
armpit.
I feel like you know when you want to collect award,
Really,
even while
licking
in
his
secondary
armpit.
school, when they call you best in maths, best in English, there's this joy. There's this. I mean, it's a national award for crying out loud.
Yeah.
It is not President Muhammadu Buhari's award. It's a national award. Should have given at least accorded him that respect
She should have.
on national TV.
I want to know in particular what you find wrong in what
Her
she did.
attitude was. I mean, it was so obvious.
I
Okay,
still
so-
feel this
so-
is
So
the first
she
reality.
wasn't
I have-
happy. She wasn't
okay.
happy. She wasn't happy.
Yeah, I have something to say about this, and I kind of get what Madishi is saying, but for me, I'm taking it from the angle, a lot of people, the expectations that they had from Tenny at that point was because it's sort of tribal in a way. It's like, oh, you're a Yoruba lady. I mean, even if you're not a Yoruba lady, but you know that your culture has a lot to do with, respect in terms of, genuflecting at the point, or something, just, because that's the president. But me, I think, what Tenny was experiencing at that point, she was just expressing sadness. Like, she wasn't happy. And
I wanted us to know that.
Yeah, like,
I'm for us. I'm for the youths.
so I think Tenny
Madichi
wasn't
just
happy,
did
to be
very
honest.
good.
And I think Tenny's not happy about something, to be honest. And she was just trying to show it.
Yeah. And
That
she showed it.
yeah, I'm not happy about the state of the country. Because normally if you're receiving your award, you'd be very excited. That excitement wasn't there. And I think that excitement wasn't there because it was replaced by some form of anger.
But there's a
but
lot,
we don't know
there's
anger
a lot to
about
be angry about. There's
Exactly.
a lot of unpleasant things going on in the
Going on
country
in the
that we're not happy
country.
about.
Yeah.
And if she did just decided that, there's nothing to really
This is
smile
okay,
with this
so
man
for
and just-
example, we've had a lot of sad events happen back to back, since President Muhammadu Buhari's reign, and this is like probably maybe one of her first opportunities to meet the guy in a long time. So she's just expressing it in it's like a subtle protest. So it's like I'm angry. I have to show you one way or the other.
As far as I am concerned, as far as I am concerned,
she did nothing wrong.
she did nothing wrong. Right? She just went there, picked up she went there for the reason she went there for. She just went to pick up her stuff.
Why was she not?
Yeah, but if you look at it, it was nothing too different from what Burna Boy's father did. He just walked up there, collected the award, walked away. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Really?
Do you understand? And big
Anyway.
shout out to Tenny. We see she's been shedding some weight. We love you like that. Anyhow you do it.
You look
I mean, she's looking
amazing.
really amazing.
Yeah, she's
like,
looking
I mean, we love Tenny any which way. You're a vibe person. Like, you give us all those banter.
got you.
We got you like that. All of us here on Fusion, but we love you like that.
Yeah, that's
all right. So
right.
what do you have for us, Gabby?
Multina, share happiness.
Fuse Unpotted.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about, a married woman who also happens to be a media personality that comes online very recently, to advise her fellow married people worldwide. And she's like, see, if you're married now, you actually have absolutely no business with your single friends as a lady, because when you have issues in your marital life, you can't go to your single friends who have never been married a day to ask them for marital advice. If you want to still keep them as friends, make sure that they are not your close friends. And a lot of people have problems with this kind of advice that she's dropping. Yes, because I happen to be one of the people who actually has a lot of problems with this, because I'm like, what do you mean? These single friends are the ones who rallied around you while you were trying to get married, where you actually big girls, they're the people who were there at your bridal shower, the people who supported you, they were there when your engagement happened. Why would you suddenly detach yourself from them just because you have a title to your name that is Mrs.? And I don't understand it. For me, I think it makes no sense.
I think there was one time that I was speaking to my mom years back, and she was telling me that when she got married, she had to make intentional effort to have friends that were also married, not because she wanted to just shed off her single friend, but because she also understood that she needed some level of mentoring, and she could only get that from someone who has experience and is happily married, and that way she needed to get people that were married as friends. Not that you will now make intentional effort to shed off your single friends.
So in that case, you're talking here about having more married friends, not necessarily getting rid of the single friends, which makes more sense. Okay, so whatever phase you are in life, you need to have friends, and people in that same phase to help you walk through it, but not to take off the other people. And people are saying justice for single women, because it looks like the married woman is shaming single women. I'm like, I'm confused.
I feel like it's actually on a personal. I think she's saying it maybe from personal experience or so. I'm married, and there's a balance between my single friends and married friends. I feel like I have more single friends than married friends, because you got married before them doesn't make you too important. Like, they're still your friends regardless, right? My bestie is still single. Okay, she's going to be married soon, but she's still single. So I won't answer because I'm married. Okay, therefore, I feel like saying it from a personal level. Anyways, we're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, more stories for you.
That's right.
I used to care for the world's opinion. I used to fear their rejection. I used to beg for validation. And I used to wait to be seen. But the fire that burned in me was hotter. And the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I'd fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
Amstel Malta, be your best.
Maltina, share happiness.
Fuse Unpotted.
So, when it comes to relationship and marriage, we need to have conversations with our partners. You hear a lot of people say, oh, I wish I said this. I wish I knew this before I got married. So there's a story of a young lady who is about to get married, and her fiancé says, you know what? I won't accept your child from a previous relationship. She had a child from a previous relationship, and she's about to get married now. And the man is saying, you can't bring this child to my matrimonial home. And so she had to call off the wedding. And there's a lot of comments on social media, people saying, oh, I think she did the right thing. She should have discussed this with her partner before it got to this stage, blah, 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 blah. Which I feel is true. I mean, why did he have to get to this stage?
I feel like
she hide it before she finally decided to tell
I thank God for the level of that lady. Honestly, I have to say that, because I feel like she was going to get into a trap, and I feel like this is something they must have talked about before, but maybe they didn't take so seriously.
I don't even think they talked about it, because
there's no way you'll be dating a woman who already has a child, and then you won't consider where does this child go when we get married.
So why do you have to get to the point of engagement?
The family probably came in, at a point and says, I know you're not going to live with a girl. As she was dating this man, maybe it was okay until it finally dawned on the man that, oh wait, I'm marrying you. This is not going to be okay any longer. So I think that's what it was, But I'm glad that she actually told herself and said, my kid is part of my life. If you're going to accept me, you're going to accept me, and everything that is. Exactly. So I mean, I prayed that she finds this, she finds another man who loves her and accepts her child. But as far as I'm concerned, she made the right move.
I don't know how old this child is. I don't know how old, if the child is already in the teenage years or probably older than that. But regardless of whatever it is, I think she made the right decision by calling off the wedding, because that's a blood. That's someone that is definitely always going to be a part of her. She cannot deny that person. And I mean, if they didn't discuss, I wonder what they were discussing.
I don't honestly, I feel like to get to that. What kind of a guy does that? Honestly, what kind of a guy says?
I'm very sure that she did not hide that child.
Yes. So but what kind of a guy says, oh, I'm gonna marry you, but your child cannot be in the picture? Then you don't love her enough.
When you even marry someone, you're marrying into a family. You're
accepting their brothers and sisters.
Exactly. So why are you trying to shut up?
And it's not easy. Let's not even think like she just cut off the wedding. It wasn't easy for her. It was a very tough decision.
Because it's not easy as a lady with a child to find a partner.
Start over again.
And I think it's the same thing for guys too, to a large extent. So I mean,
all right, guys, that's so much we can take today on Fuse Unpotted. We believe you had so much fun listening to us. If you want to join the conversation and join the family, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Fuse, THEFUZ on YouTube. Subscribe, turn on the notification so you can be alerted anytime we drop a new video. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Fuse_local, FUZE_LOCAL. You can also link up with me on Instagram and Twitter at AB_AKYNZ.
Wow.
And you find me on Instagram at Gabby.Gabby. Do well to follow, guys.
Follow me on all social media platforms at _Madichi. Until next time,
Stay tuned, guys.
It's crazy.
Upfront and personal, world-class business, world-class consultants.